Here's my keyword outline. Hi, my name is Hannah Lisinski, and today we are going to be talking about self-driving cars and what is bad. Think about what comes to mind when you hear the term self-driving cars. Are these negative or positive thoughts? What many people don't know about autonomous driving are the long-term effects. At first, I thought this innovation was really beneficial, but after much consideration, I now believe these vehicles cause more harm than good. I want to start by discussing what the public thinks about autonomous driving. It's difficult for drivers to trust these self-driving cars, and I will discuss why that is. The Partners for Automated Vehicle Education, also known as PAVE, had a study which consisted of 1,200 Americans. About 3 in 4 participants agreed that self-driving technology is not ready for real-world navigation. The American Automobile Association, or also known as AAA, survey asked respondents if they would feel safe in an autonomous vehicle. This survey revealed that only 12% of drivers would trust riding in this type of vehicle. What else does the public have to say? 6 out of 10 Americans would like to know who would be legally responsible in case of an accident, and about half of drivers are concerned about potential hackers. Now that we have some information about how the public feels, let's talk about why they feel this way. The main concern about safety is that this is essentially a robot, not a human, driving. Human instincts allow for quick responses to unexpected situations, but these vehicles may not provide this type of nimbleness required for driving. For example, the sensor detectors on these self-driving cars have not been perfected and are not 100% foolproof. An autonomous vehicle has already been documented for the cause of an accident, resulting in the death of a pedestrian due to sensor failing. If these vehicles are to be successful in the future, they need continuous safety testing and stringent federal regulations so that these vehicles can be safe and reliable in the future. Now that we have talked about how the public thinks and why they are having these concerns, let's talk about the negative long-term effects that can arise. Most people are not informed on the long-term effects of what self-driving cars can cause. The levels of energy consumption and emissions would increase. I want to discuss a case study done by Joseph Stanford relating to the long-term effects of self-driving. There were 3 scenarios performed for this case study, and in every scenario, these emissions were increased, but the level of increase varied between each scenario. In this study, they talk about how the attractiveness of the vehicle could result in traffic volumes rising. This would contribute to a high equilibrium level of congestion, then leading to increased emissions. Self-driving cars could also result in major job losses, from truck drivers to subway operators to taxi drivers and then courier services. There could be over 500,000 layoffs. The Employment and Social Development Canada document presents that over 600,000 jobs were at risk as parking attendants, auto body repair shops, and even police and emergency workers. Autonomous driving can also have a huge effect on the way car insurance companies function today. Usually, accidents are due to human error, but with self-driving vehicles, the automakers will have to assume liability. Drivers may also reduce or drop their insurance coverage, causing financial struggles within the insurance industry. Parker O'Veary discusses these issues in an article relating to insurance and self-driving vehicles. Now that we have discussed what the public thinks and the harmful effects, I want to explain my own thought process when it comes to these vehicles. I first thought that self-driving cars were very innovative and appealing to the eye, but after I researched the effects, I now have a completely different view. Overall, the job loss resulting from this innovation just isn't worth it. We also cannot control these vehicles if there is a mistake with the sensors or if the automaker made a mistake. This has resulted in a couple deaths already, one where a passenger was struck by an autonomous vehicle and another where the driver died because the sensors had failed. These cars could result in even higher congestion, higher traffic flow, and higher energy emissions. I have provided you with my own research and my views on this topic, and I'm confident that you will feel the same way that I do. In conclusion, the public already does not feel safe being in these vehicles because they cannot fully control what happens. These vehicles may cause even more environmental distress, and self-driving cars will result in a heavy job loss and even harm the insurance industry as a whole. Thank you for listening to my speech, and I hope that your views have now shifted a little if they weren't already on this side of the topic.